What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Chat Room, a podcast dedicated with having interviews with upcoming stars and influencers of our generation. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at thechatroom.tcr and on Twitter at thechatroom_TCR. Also, don't forget to become one of our valued Patreon members, which allows you to unlock exclusive content while also supporting this podcast. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of the Chat Room. It's week number 2, episode number 2 of 2021, and I'm just so excited to have you here with me. My name is Kudzai and today I am joined by a special guest, an author, Gabisile Maseko. How are you doing?
Hi, Nzuki. I am so excited, and let me tell you why. Because I made the cut. I heard from the grapevine that you have an age restriction, so I made it, and I'm so happy. Thank you for the platform.
You know what? When we were speaking and you mentioned, do I make the age restriction? I was like, what? Yes, you definitely make the cut. But yes, the listeners are gonna understand why you do make the cut when we get into the discussion. But I do hope that you're doing well despite everything that's going on around us.
I'm doing fine. I'm fantastic. I'm calm under the circumstances, and I'm happy.
All right. Yes, I think the idea is to just stay positive, you know. But
no,
yes.
definitely.
Yes. So we're gonna be speaking about your first book. I'm really excited about that, and it's a Christian book. So before we even get to the title of the book, I just want to ask you, what made you write a Christian book? Because it's not something that you see every day. And yeah, I just want to know where your mind is at with that regard.
Oh, well, writing the book, it came about because, we know that in this world, we have so many books, motivational, spiritual, that are actually intended specifically for adults and young adults. So I thought, why not? Why not write a book for our junior youth? Because it's almost like they're the neglected and forgotten group of people. But at a certain age, we expect them to be spiritually and socially matured. Yet we're not doing the work that is much needed at an early stage. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to write the book. And of course, it might be addressed to our teenagers, so to speak, but the contents are actually beneficial to everyone. I think you probably noticed from the table of contents that it actually accommodates everybody, right?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, as young as I am, of course, I'm a mother. So I want my own kids, when they're at the right age, to have access to this type of information firsthand from me, before the big bad world gets them.
Yeah, so and all these things have to start from within, from home, So I think that's a great concept there. And please, can you explain how that came about and the idea behind the cover? Because for those that haven't seen the cover, I will be posting it on my socials. It's a very interesting cover. So please, can you explain that a little bit before we get into the details of the book itself?
Okay, well, the title of the book is called Christ is No Limit. So we know that it's a popular thing to say amongst us young people that, the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was just a play on words that Christ is no limit. And it's an important message to put out there, to our youth, that there is nothing impossible with him. He is unlimited. And that's how the title came about. And as for the cover, you notice it's a beautiful cover, right? It's quite attractive, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Eye-grabbing. So the cover is just a reflection of the amazing content that's inside the book. And, they say, do not judge a book by its cover. In this case, I am saying confidently and boldly,
judge it by its cover.
Saying to you, judge it by its cover.
Yeah. Definitely. I think if I was to judge the book by its cover, I would probably buy 2 copies by mistake. But
you can see, the characters of the book, they're good looking, they're cool. So basically, they got the vibe, right? Is that the term?
Yeah, they cut the vibe.
They cut the vibe. So
just like, I'm sorry, before you move on, I just wanted to ask, did you take like pictures of people when you came with the cover, or it's like drawings, like literally drawings, or it's like an art sketch of someone?
It's literally drawings, honestly.
Right.
The initial concept was to get young, cool people, but I was like, no, let me just make it cartoons. Most of the characters we see, they're not so amazing, but these ones, they are beautiful. And also, I want our young people to see themselves, themselves on the cover. And yeah, it's as uplifting as the cover looks. That's the
all right. And like, it's so pretty cool that we haven't even gotten to the details of the book itself. And, there's already inspirational, motivation coming out there. So I'm excited to move on. So with that being said, what's the purpose and outcome? What do you hope is the purpose and outcome of the book? Like, what do you hope to achieve?
The purpose of the book was basically just to teach about Christ without influencing the reader to change their whole personality. And what I mean by that, it is not necessary to suddenly change how cool you are and become dull just to prove that you're a Christian child, which is what is normally expected in this world, that, the minute you are born again, you have to change your whole persona. Because at the end of the day, we know God is just he's not looking for cool or uncool. He's looking for our hearts, to be pure and our deeds to be good. And also he wants us to just trust, believe, and have faith in him. So this book teaches you about Christ, and you get to know that with realizing that, no, I don't need to change who I am as a person. I mean, the character, my personality, but you can change the bad habits, of course, And the other aim and the purpose, of course, is that it should boost your self-esteem, because once you have the book, you will understand that you are not the problem.
Yeah.
Since the book is very insightful and yet it's not heavy or depressing.
Oh, all right. So like in a way, it's pastoring without, actually going to church type of vibes. I don't know if I phrased that correctly.
Suppose you could say that, but when you say pastoring, then now young people think, it's so serious.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So disclaimer, it's not pastoring.
Yeah, it's not pastoring. It just talks about all, most of the time we find that like parents will tell you, no sex before marriage, but do we even understand what do they mean? And they just tell us in that. So when you get the book, you'll understand that it's not about you saving yourself for your partner. It's about you. The answer is in the book, So, I mean, there's 33 topics. Trust me. If we want to go through all of this, it's going to take the whole day. But yeah.
All right. So just along those lines, please do explain the layout of the book.
Okay. The layout of the book is basically those 33 topics. I don't know if you'd want me to mention a few of them, but I don't think it's necessary. But I think it
maybe
just deals about.
Sorry, I think if you mention maybe the ones that stand out for you, I think that would be great as well.
Okay, so one of the ones that stand out for me, it talks about haters. We talk about issues with love and relationships. We talk about social media in the book. It talks about learning to actually close a chapter. Sometimes if you're not vibing with friends, it's time to let them go. We don't have to fix what does not need to be fixed, So it's a wide variety, of course. Like I said, it's 33, and I'm not going to count them one by one because the way I've titled them, it's quite creative.
Okay.
Yes. So it's those 33 topics. And then at the end of each discussion, I leave a blank space with lines whereby the reader gets an opportunity to write their prayers, their dreams, their goals, and affirmation. You see, so it kind of acts like a personal journal, which helps the reader to go back later and see if what they've written has manifested. Because when you write things down by faith, I believe they always come true,
That's very true.
They do.
And when you're speaking of the titles there, some of the love, letting go of haters. I was just saying, oh, she's speaking my language. I need to get myself this book. And I know a number of the listeners who are, of my age as well, are experiencing trouble like with these topics. And I think that's the cool part about this book, is that it speaks to us youth in a very direct manner, but an indirect manner as well. Because I'm not going to go around speaking to my mother about love or, haters or letting go of friends. Well, personally, I'm not going to do that. So I think I think the book is just, it's a nice way to learn about all this stuff in a calm manner. So
and I also like that it also, how as young people we like to be jealous and stuff like that. It also addresses such issues. Now we get to understand that, look, it doesn't matter being jealous or not. Your destiny is your destiny. So you don't have to hate on other people. What is meant for you will come your way. And whether you hate on that person, you're not going to stop where they're going. Let's just learn to celebrate each other, because I think that's what I'd love to see with us young people, celebrating each other, basically.
That's very true. And I think I should have asked this earlier, and you alluded to that a little bit, but what's your vision for the youth? Like what's your actual, like, aside from the book itself? Obviously you draw inspiration from your vision. So what's the actual vision that you have for the youth?
I'd like to see a purpose-driven youth, confident and happy youth, because our youngsters are just too depressed and worn out.
Yeah.
They have little hope, And probably part of the reason is because they are not well informed. They don't get enough love and attention at home, and there's not much guidance out there in the world, So I would like to see those that confident, happy youth, basically. And of course, I'd like to also see our youth working together. Yeah. Let's work together. Let's support each other. Let's celebrate each other.
Help each other win.
Yes, help each other win, please. That's what I'd like to see. And most importantly, I hope and wish for every young person to own this book, because definitely it's going to change their life.
All right, cool. So talking of owning the book, how do we catch ourselves a copy of the book? Because, I think that's what most of the listeners have been waiting for. We want to know, how do we get this book? Is it an ebook? Is it a hard copy? How much is it? How do we go about it?
Well, it can't be an ebook, because you have to own the book to write in the book. And right now it's just newly published. So currently you order directly from me, and then I'll courier it to you. The book goes for 150. Okay, and then
150
you
rand,
might have
that
to,
is for all the listeners
rand.
from out there, it's 150 rand.
Yeah, it's 150 rands, and you might have to pay the courier price, of course.
Depending on... So at this present moment, is it only available in South Africa? Or let's say, like, I'm in Zimbabwe at this present moment, right? Can I get myself a copy in Zimbabwe or, Botswana, Zambia, or whatever the case may be?
You see, that's just the ideal situation. I wish at the end, because I just newly published the book, I wanted to be a footprint of our SADC, So you can get it.
All right, cool.
We'll make a way.
Yes, you heard that. She will make a plan especially for you. But just getting back a little bit, I think I should have asked this earlier once again, but how many books do you hope to write in your lifetime? Because you spoke about how this is newly published and it's your first book as well. Do you hope to continue this maybe as a series or write other books completely?
Definitely. I think I have 2 more in the works. I'm busy with the second one, but I won't discuss it now. So I will keep writing. I just love writing.
You love writing, yeah.
Yes.
No, I do understand. And yes, listeners, please do get the book. I will be posting the links on my social pages, contact details, and you guys can speak more, with relation to how to get the book to your country if you're not in South Africa. But yes, that's basically it for the episode. I am so excited, to be going on this journey. The second episode, it's still early days, but hopefully we continue to grow as a community and to continue to grow as listeners. But that's basically it for today. And just before we say goodbye to Gabby, I just want to ask, if you were, and please do take yourself back 10 years, please. But what advice would you give to the youth as a mother of kids and a wife to a husband? What advice would you give us?
What advice I'd give is, don't rush adulting. I think young people are so obsessed with being too old. You're gonna spend so much time in your adulthood, and your youth should not be wasted. So spend it well. Do the fun things you love to do. Don't restrict yourself. Don't box yourself. If don't be a person that lives by the rules of society, basically. Just because you're studying a certain career doesn't mean that you cannot be diverse. Open your options. Have options. Do what you love. It's one thing to have a professional career, but you have to do other things that interest you, and that way you're gonna enjoy life.
Yes, that's very true. And thank you for that sound advice. What she basically said in short is YOLO. You only live once, so enjoy the time that we have here. So, yes, I just tried to shorten it, it's a YOLO, especially in these days. But thank you for coming on. Really, I think the listeners can see why we got someone above the age group. I'm using your words, there isn't really an age group, everyone is young at heart, but
everyone's young at heart, but hey.
Yes. But hey, I think people can understand why you came on, and I think getting this book is really a step in the right direction. So please, listeners, do get in touch with Gabby. The information, once again, will be in the social media platforms. But that is it for today, for this episode. Thank you for joining me. Please continue to spread this podcast to your family members, to your aunts, your uncles, your friends. Please do spread the word. We are growing each and every single day. We're getting more and more listeners. And the goal is to have thousands and thousands of listeners. So yes, thank you for that, and peace out.